So as we kind of wind down in the last few months of Madden 18 here, I figured I'd do a bit of a change of pace, do something a bit funner, something that isn't just going over serious plays, you know, how you can get the most out of your offense or the most out of your defense, how you can win more games on weekend league or whatever. I've had a lot of fun doing that over the past few months, but, you know, I think it's kind of run dry a bit. You know, I think there's enough content there to win a lot of games for the rest of Madden 18. Now, for sure, I'm going to be doing more of those, but I want to do something a little bit funner here, go into some parts of the game that really are not as explored. So I'm going to be doing kind of some top 10s, some fun stuff like that to go over things that I like. So a lot of this stuff is going to be, you know, personal preference, or maybe, you know, if I can do some quantitative stuff that are like, I don't know, if there's any data out there that I can do some top 10s on that, or some other interesting things like that I want to have fun with you guys, and I want to, you know, have a little dialogue with you guys, see what kind of things that you've seen in this game that you might think are interesting, but, you know, don't warrant attention because it's, you know, not the most amazing thing. It's not a free touchdown glitch or a free sack glitch or something like that. Just interesting things that I find and that you find interesting in this game. But with that said, you know, without further ado, the first video in this kind of series, I'm going to be doing a top 10 on the worst routes in Madden 18. I'm going to be going over, you know, some routes that, you know, you guys have seen, some routes maybe you haven't seen that really are annoying to use, that pretty much nobody ever uses in this game. But, you know, if you come across some of the routes that I've been doing here that you actually use and that you actually have success with, I'd definitely love to hear. And that if there are any routes that you think that I missed out, definitely let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, I hope you like it, and definitely leave a like if you do. So we'll get started.
Mastering Madden.
Okay, coming in at number 10 are these motion routes, whether it's from the wide receiver, tight end, or fullback, or whatever. They're just almost completely useless. I've never really seen anybody use them online. The only people I've seen using it is the computer in solos, but really the worst part about it is it just takes forever to get going. So you'll have, especially online when you don't have too much time to work with, a lot of times you have to get your adjustments in just in time for there's maybe 5 or less seconds on the play clock. And then if you have one of these, well, this takes like an extra few seconds that can be really detrimental to just trying to get that play off, and then you get your 5-yard penalty, you get really frustrated, you never come back to that again. On top of that, it's kind of useless anyway because the AI is never going to react poorly to this. They're not going to, you know, fall for the smoke and mirrors or anything like that. They're going to go to their spot drop zones, and everything's going to be okay for them. So then really all that you get here is kind of a not so great route, and then also, you know, you have to wait around, especially when you're trying to play tempo, you're trying to get in the rhythm of it. This really just sucks. There's pretty much no reason for it at all. If you want, even especially some of these ones, like some of them are okay, they're whatever. You know, the ones where you motion in the far wide receiver in a couple steps, that's okay. But this one, you know, he cuts all the way across just so you can go right back. Like, don't really see the point of that in Madden. Maybe, you know, in real football, they actually, you know, got some things going there to just get the defense off of their checks, but really no use for it here, especially since you can kind of get the same thing here. Like, this zig route's pretty much the exact same thing, except you don't got to wait around for him to cut across. Much better. At number 9, we have this ultra deep post route from the wide receiver here, mostly in a lot of these play action shot plays. I think it's really quite ridiculous. I mean, you have this inside stem that goes 5 yards, and then you're vertical for like 30 yards, and then finally after that, you know, if you haven't got sacked by then, you're going to run that post and try to split the seam or get over the safeties or whatever. Obviously, my problem with it is that it takes way too long to develop, and by then, you know, you're going to take a sack, whether it's a block shed or the blitz coming in. It's not really going to work out for you. The reason why I don't have it lower is because, you know, it is if it didn't take so long, it would be a decent route, because, you know, you can probably get it behind cover 4 safeties, and then, you know, you could split the cover 2 also if you're running against somebody that doesn't have that deep blue from their middle linebacker. Also, you can smart route it if you're decent amount of yardage away, so it's a bit more reasonable. But I mean, this one's just too ridiculous. So I'll show you how it goes. Play action. Hopefully your blocks hold up. He's still going out. That time we almost got over the safety, but yeah, there's no... This is Michael Vick. He can't throw that far either. Pretty ridiculous play, if you ask me. Let's try it again one more time. Next, we got the smoke screen. So this is one of your quick audibles. If you just, select your receiver and then you press right trigger, I believe it was. Yeah, smoke screen. Now, my problem with this is, other than the fact that it's, almost useless, is the fact that it takes up a hot route spot. So this can be, I don't know, whatever you want, maybe a corner route or something much better that can occupy the spot. I don't like this one at all. So even if we kind of get everybody out of the way, when would you normally run a smoke screen? You'd run it if you see cover 3 or whatever, your cornerback's playing way off. Maybe you wouldn't run it as shotgun. Maybe you'd run it under center. You can throw that quick ball. And then if you have a playmaker like, Odell Beckham or Antonio Brown or something like that, they can take that upfield and get a few yards. But my problem with it is that, okay, if he's isolated, he's isolated. But if there's anybody in the area like this Carmichael, whatever he's doing, the blocking AI really isn't there. So he's not really going to block for him. So really you're just running a quick screen and then you're just trying to make something happen without any blockers or anything like that. And then on top of that, like the way the 91 zone coverage reacts in this game, you'd be really lucky to get 5 yards. So I'll throw it here just against stock cover 3. Okay, I kind of ran inside that time, but I only got 2 yards, as you see. And that flat defender was kind of preoccupied with the slot there too, and he still managed to get out there in time. Just kind of get him out of the way here. Let's run that again. Let him drift a bit. Look at that. There's nothing you can do there. Let's run it against, I don't know, Tampa 2. This doesn't really make sense, but the only thing that I really see that it's useful for is maybe to create some spacing if you have a corner route from the slot or something like that. But really, I mean, you can get away with just doing a zig route or even an out route or something like that. So in my opinion, this route is almost completely useless. And I think for Madden 19, it really would be great if they took it out as a hot route. Yeah. So yeah, even against a cloud flat there, he's going to be covered up pretty much. And then on top of that, like, heaven forbid they get into a hard flat or something like that, you're really in trouble. You throw that, it's a pick 6. So in my opinion, I really don't like this play. And coming in at number 7 is this weird kind of double move here where you're kind of running a post and then you end up running a corner. And then even also the alternative to this, which is pretty much the exact same thing, except you start off the corner and you end up running a post. The reason why I hate this, like with a lot of the plays that you're going to see in this top 10, is that it takes way too long to develop, and these double moves never ever make the AI bite. Maybe sometimes I think the chair route and a couple other double moves will work against man coverage, but against zone coverage, which is way over 99% of what people are running in this game, it just doesn't work out. So and you'll see even with a 90. He's got 91 route running there. And let's run it against a proper flat coverage. So we'll do the cloud flat here. Even with 91 route running, he makes that cut really, really slowly there. I don't like it at all. So we'll throw that. And yeah, you're going to get kind of picked off there. I really actually don't like it as a clear out route either. Like, there's really no reason to run it as that when you got a streak. That's always going to be better. So I haven't come across a single situation where this could be beneficial. Let's try it against cover 2 press. Maybe he can get behind that cloud. I don't know. We'll even put Jackson on a swing. Can you even hot route this? Yeah, you can hot route this to make it even shorter. Let's see how it goes. Yeah. let me know if you guys have ever made this route work, because A, I've never made it work in practice mode, and B, I've never seen anybody run it. And then I think maybe the corner to post combination, so the inverse of this might be a little bit better because you're kind of going to space rather than the sideline. But again, it takes forever. You're probably going to get sacked before you can throw it off, and it's just not very good all around. So keeping with the same kind of theme as the last one, we now got another double move where you're kind of starting off with one of these S posts. and then you work your way into a corner route. So it's kind of like a C route, except with this like extra kind of jitter step inside, and then you go outside again. So we all know how great the C route is in this game. Like the short C routes are pretty much unstoppable. I've labbed countless times how we can stop it, and there's no way you can stop it without really going overkill on that side. So this is pretty much the same thing, except you're adding a double team to fake out a defender that won't get faked out, and you're just adding time to that. So it looks something like this. Usually, again, this is something with a play action, and just takes forever. I almost gave away the sack. Oh, can I get a touchdown? Hey, it worked out that time. Let's put in a realistic flat coverage. Let's see how it works against that. Who knows? Maybe it'll work out. Maybe this is actually good. I don't know. Maybe there's something there. But I don't like it at all. I think it's ridiculous. I think there's way too many cuts. There's, one break, two break. There's 3 breaks on this. And really it's not necessary when that C route is going to glitch out any defenders, and you can get open on that sideline there. Let's try against cover 2, see how it works on that. And yeah, if you guys have kind of picked up on this theme so far, I really would like to see a lot fewer of these plays in Madden 19, unless they kind of figure out zone coverage, where defenders might play differently with zone coverage. Maybe their positioning can get all out of whack if they see like a double move, something like this. That would be nice, but that's really wishing. I don't think that'll happen for another several years, if ever. Let's see, kind of splits wide open here in this. That X route kind of gets in the way. Maybe you could have opened up there, but overall, I really don't like it. And at number 5, I'm going to kind of put in all together most option routes. So I'm just going to go over one in this one just to show you how kind of silly they are. I think they have a lot of potential. I think they could be really great. I think, if you're running the run and shoot, option routes are your bread and butter. But in Madden, I just don't think they work at all for a few reasons. Number 1 is that though it is consistent, they'll run the same thing against every coverage. Like if you come across a cover 3, it'll run that same route against cover 3 every single time. So you can count on that, and it doesn't worry about awareness or anything like that. But I think the logic is poor, A, and B, it'd be much better if we could decide what those options were. Because, the meta of Madden 18, Madden 19, Madden 2020, and whatever and so on is never really going to be like that of real football. So we should be able to say, okay, if it's cover 2, we don't want it to run the post because there's going to be a deep blue middle linebacker there, or whatever. A man coverage, we want to make sure he's running side to side rather than sitting underneath coverage. I think that'd be much better if we could kind of dictate that. But again, as with the last one, I don't think that's something we'll see soon, if ever at all. So that's really disappointing. Until then, I think they're kind of just useless. I think they should be taken out of most plays, maybe in the novelties like run and shoot, or some teams that really run it a lot, but I don't think it's necessary at all. So we'll show you here like how kind of flawed the logic is. Against cover 3, I believe, if I'm right, yeah, he just sits here in double coverage. Like, what are you doing? I think that's really annoying. Also, it'd be nice if there was some sort of logic where we didn't have to playmaker. And actually, if they could take out playmaker altogether, I don't like that. But, if we're here and he's in double coverage and I start rolling out, he should just start rolling out regardless. So, again, is it too much to ask for? I don't know. But against cover 3, there's no reason that guy should be... I mean, obviously he's not going to run the post, but that corner route is going to do a hell of a lot better than that curl. And then if we look at... Let's get into cover 2 press. Let's see what he does here. I forget what he does. I think he runs the C route here, the corner, which is okay. But it'd be nice if he saw that there's no deep middle there, and if he just ran that post there, that'd be a lot better. But again, so useless against that. And then against man coverage, I tried it against cover 1. I don't know how it'll work against cover 2, but I believe he just sits on that curl route, just sits in coverage. When the corner route or the post, yeah. Like, come on. There's no reason you should ever stop against man coverage there. You should just either go left or go right away from that defender. So all 3 cases are just pretty much useless, and I can imagine that most option routes in this game, the logic is flawed. Even if it's right in terms of a football standpoint, it's almost useless in Madden. So that's why I think that option routes are easily one of the worst routes in this game. Yeah. And at number 4, we have these deep curl routes, which are totally bizarre to me. It's like they were designed specifically to get into the zones of the hook curls and the vert hooks and anything in the middle like that. So just watch how they kind of develop here. Like, get right perfectly in the zones. Like, no way you could ever fit that in there. Like, yeah, I mean, I get that they want to have a lot of different plays, you know, to show you that, oh, look at all these different play types and different combinations you can do, but sometimes they're just better off just not wasting your time on some of this stuff. Like, I don't know of a single situation where this would ever be beneficial. Maybe if you're really coming up against the heat and then you can, you know, max protect, but then at that point, you know, why don't you just do a regular curl route? So in my opinion, there's never ever a use for this. Maybe it's also, you know, one of those double move situations where they're trying to fake out the AI with, okay, is he going a corner route? No, he's sticking there. But again, that's never going to happen. So just like this, like double coverage on pretty much both sides. And then it's not even just the cover 3 thing, like cover 2 or anything you go to. Also man coverage, obviously you never want to stop running. So run that play action. Even the cloud flag gets in on the action there. So in my opinion, like, and this isn't even really the only thing. There are a lot of other really, really bizarre curl routes in this game that I don't think I've seen anybody ever run. Sometimes they sit nicely into zones, but these ones I think sit perfectly where those zones are. And I don't like it at all. Maybe, you know, maybe you can make it work with a clear out here. Maybe this here, and then if a user's not there, or if a user's over aggressive, maybe you can kind of find a little sweet spot there. Let's see. No, that hook curl's always sitting there real nicely. Number 4, I don't like it. And our first route in the top 3 is this weird against the grain crossing wheel route from the tight end. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this. This is in a lot of formations. And every time I see it, you know, I mean, up until a few months ago, I thought, oh, this is so cool. This must work. And I think I saw it work a few times in the NFL season. I think the Bucs were running it. But again, like with these spot drop zone coverages, nobody's ever going to get fooled. So I think the point is, you know, you're running play action and then you're bootlegging to the left. And then hopefully that tight end's going to run all alone. But again, you know, there's no awareness there. Like that cornerback's not going to, or even the safety or the linebacker, outside linebacker, or whatever, it's not going to crash on the run, because if it's play action, they know it's play action. And then on top of that, if you're bootlegging out here, it doesn't really matter. And then this tight end gets lost too. So I don't know if anybody's ever managed to complete a pass with this. Like maybe if you do some sort of crazy combination over here, maybe you can get him open, but then you're throwing way across the field, and I really don't think that's ever going to work out. So this is definitely, you know, this probably could have been even higher, but it is really, really bad. I get that it must be something that was hot in the NFL maybe 2 years ago, and then the developer saw, oh, that's cool, we should put it in, and I respect that. I like that a lot, but you know, if it's not going to work with the meta, if it's not going to work with how the AI plays, don't really waste the time putting it in. Let's run that again. Let's show that against cover 2. But even against man coverage, like, let's see how this, even against man coverage, this doesn't make sense. Actually, that was kind of okay. You know, maybe if you're running a cover 1. Can we make some sort of a pseudo cover 1 with a cover 2 man? We do this. We just put this guy here. Trying to lab up the worst route in Madden, see if we can get anything. Oh yeah, look at that. Not so bad. Okay, if you're coming up against somebody that runs cover 1, which maybe you've never come across before, this is something that you could probably run. Unless, you know, it's a cornerback running with him, in which case they're probably not going to make it. But anyway, that's definitely my third most hated route in this game. I think it's almost completely useless. Can we get a one-on-one? No, we can't. The second worst route in Madden 18 is this kind of flare route. I don't mean the swing route, which is, an audible, which has a bit of an arc to it and kind of turns up field. But I mean this route that's almost fully straight, and actually, a bit of a disappointment. I was trying to find out, there's one play, it might only be one play in this entire game where the route was literally just exactly horizontal. So there's absolutely no motion upwards. So that was really what I wanted here, because I think there's no way you could ever even get to the line of scrimmage with that play. But this is the next best thing. I really don't like it. Like, especially with whether you're in cover 2 or cover 3, that cloud flat or hard flat or whatever is going to be 91 zone coverage, and they're going to break on that ball so quickly. So similar to the smoke screen that I was showing you before, even if we clear this guy out, there's just not enough forward momentum, and then by the time we get to that line of scrimmage, we're going to get tackled there. If we show you this screenplay, it's a bit better. You could sometimes get a bit of positive yardage, maybe make somebody miss. In this way, not only are you further behind the line of scrimmage, but you're also, again, you're left with less momentum. Can we make somebody miss? Yeah, pretty much 0 yards every single time. Now, the play I wanted to show you, which is pretty much exactly straight left. Oh, I wish I knew which playbook it was. Anyway, I'd really, really be surprised if you could ever, let alone get yardage, but cross that line of scrimmage. So let's run that again. Maybe that'd be a good challenge. Maybe if I can go online running only this play, see if I can win the game with just defense or something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much that. That's the second worst play in Madden 18. Oh, actually, let's keep running this until I can get a yard. One more time. Come on. Come on, Bo Jackson. I'm going to have to truck somebody. I might have to ditch this one last time. Let's go. Let's try wait a bit longer. Dive. Yeah, we got 2 yards. And the number one worst route in Madden 18 is the goal line fade. I think probably everybody has tried to lab this up at one point in time. I mean, usually this is a hot route if you're in the opponent's 10-yard line, I believe. Obviously, you're never going to run it outside. Maybe if you're on pretty much the only time you'd ever run it in real life is in the end zone. And in this game, you'd never run it because, frankly, it sucks. I've tried to lab it several times. Not even this year, even the previous year and the year before that. You just can't get it done. Even, in the days of Spectacular Catch working out, didn't really work out. And no matter how you put it, you'll never, ever catch that ball. Even if you have Carmichael there up against, Bradley Roby or some, I don't know who small corners are in this game, but look at it. You're always going to get some sort of double coverage. Even if we kind of, maybe if we put that tight end on a flat route or something like that, we can open up a single coverage. But, as you guys know in this game, actually, ideally, this guy's going to be way wider. So it's a kind of a silly play anyway. I guess that's somewhat reasonable. Can we get something? Maybe if you were to do a little low point pass or something like that. Nah, you're never going to get it in there. And that's even just cover 3, let alone, running a hard flat there, or cover 2, which is even going to be worse. Although I don't know if he actually gets jammed here. No, he doesn't. But yeah, really, I'd really be surprised if anybody ever had this working. If you could show me that you have this working, then man, props to you, because this is easily the worst route in the game. I think this year, I'd probably say last year too. It's cool. Again, with what I've been saying with a lot of these routes is you see it, you see it on Sunday in NFL. You see these amazing goal line fade catches, which, are pretty low percentage in real life anyway. But here, I don't think it would even be greater than 1% chance of getting it. Anyway, that's the list, guys. Let me know. I really actually genuinely care what you guys think about this. If I left out anything that you really think could be much worse, or, even more interesting, if any of these top 10 you actually like and you actually use, I definitely want to hear about it. So you definitely tell me about that, and then, stay subscribed. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos. Of course, I'm always going to be doing tips, helping you out in this game. And I hope you liked it. I hope you left a like, and we will see you in the next one.